Hi, this is Jeff White with Life and Living Now, and I wanted to talk just a little bit on the heart-mind coherence and kind of harmonizing between the heart and mind. Within the martial arts side of things, we're taught six harmonies, three internal and three external. The three internals are heart, mind, and energy, chi, and then chi leads to power. So you have heart and mind harmonizing, that heart mind harmonizing, becoming aware and leading chi, and then the chi leads the power. So it informs and builds the power. But the heart mind is one of the most important pieces of this. And how do we get to there? What does that mean? So on one hand, we can look at it as heart-mind coherence. Now there is such a thing called heart-brain coherence that refers to a physiological alignment between the heart and the brain. Their rhythms become more synchronized and more balanced, and so this is part of the effect of this heart-mind harmonization. And the state is often associated with very positive emotions and very good things. It's characterized by smooth, ordered heart rhythm patterns and an improved communication between the heart and the brain. And what I find interesting is that when you look into this, there's heart rate variability. We think of our heart rates as being kind of this steady beat, but it's a pattern of fluctuations. And when you're experiencing stress or negative emotions, this heart rate variability is more erratic. It's disordered. However, when you have positive emotions like appreciation, thankfulness, love, or experience, then this heart rate variability pattern becomes more ordered and more wave-like, excuse me, indicating a state of coherence. So the heart sends signals to the brain, and these signals can either inhibit or facilitate cognitive function. So depending upon the heart's rhythm, when the heart is in a coherent state, it sends signals and that support this cognitive function, emotional stability, and overall well-being. So when we're looking at heart-mind harmonizing, then part of what it's telling us to do, it's the heart is our seat of emotions. It's part of it's an avenue to the deeper parts of us. And in some philosophical circles, the heart is linked to spirit. And nothing wrong with that, depending upon our definition, I guess, of spirit itself. But we do know the heart is our seat of our emotions. It is a path to the deeper parts of us, to the parts of us that are not always, just in ordered thinking. The mind, of course, is our intellect, it's our processing. We look at having greater cognitive skills gives us greater mental clarity, better decision making, more enhanced problem solving abilities. The emotional regulation reduces stress, anxiety, frustration, increased capacity to experience more positive emotions. So it's a good thing. And of course, all of this brings an overwhelming sense of well being. So what I normally would tell people to do, now we have a meditation within our five elements meditations that I teach and it's really five internal organs where we kind of focus on each of our organs for lungs and kidneys and liver and heart and spleen. And we focus and we just, we bring them up in our attention, we hold them, we infuse them with good feelings, emotions, and sending good energy there. We're building that energy. A lot of times, a practice that you can use to harmonize this heart mind is putting your attention, your awareness in your heart as you go through day-to-day living. When we're in meditation, I'll teach people to put their mind in their heart and have an attitude of gratitude, of appreciation, something that's positive there, and just focus on that. Focus on, and the color of the heart is red, so we focus on this deep, healthy red color, this vibrant, and for me, it's a vibrant sense of peacefulness and appreciation in my heart, and I see that heart growing. And you want to be able to combine then your emotional life and your intellectual life. And when we're in that meditative state, by just focusing and holding our attention there, we'll come away with a far more grounded sense of being and a sense of centeredness. And when we're doing our Qigong, I'll tell people when we go through our flows, put your mind in your heart and also within the energy centers, but especially on the heart, and you'll sense that energy. And if I'm combining mind and heart, then what I'm doing is I'm combining my emotional side and the deeper parts of me with the intellectual, the academic, the thinking side as well. And I want to combine those two. Now, in the combination of those two, we end up with a very dynamic and very powerful sense of, as I mentioned, groundedness and centered, but a way to act and a way to be. It's a sense of being where we have combined those parts of us. We're going deeper. And with the mind, we're letting go of ego and we're centering into just that spirit part of us. And the heart, we are not leading with our emotions. That would be wrong. That's a part of the heart, but it's more of a surface area. I have a friend of mine, we're in a discussion, and I could tell that her whole thought process, feeling process, was being led by fear. Fear was the number one part. So everything that she felt like the world was ending, and everything was in an awful state, she was completely fearful. Instead, then lead with your heart, lead with your awareness, lead with consciousness, not fear, not the emotions. Emotions come and go. But awareness and consciousness, that's more real than your emotions. It's more foundational to your being than the thoughts you think and the feelings that you feel. So go deeper to the deepest parts of you and put your mind there. And now as you go through your day, whether even outside of your practice, go through your day, putting your mind in your heart and listening. Listen to the people when you speak to somebody. Don't just hear the words they say, but try and listen for deeper, for in between the words. Try and listen to their spirit. There's analogies that come with. There's in the Christian church, I remember being led by spirit would be analogous to this, being a prayerful life, because you're turning towards God, but you're turning towards the deeper parts of you. And that's one instance where you could say it's the same thing. So put your mind in your heart. Live with your mind in your heart, not by your emotions. Your mind still rules. Remember, you have the renewing of the mind. So you want to watch the thoughts that come up. You have the freedom to think the thoughts that you wish to think or not to think. And it takes a long time and a lot of practice to get to there, but it's well worth it. But the more that you relax, the more that you're intentional and you put your mind in your heart, the more that you will sense what I'm talking about, the more that you'll feel it experientially and not just academically. So feel free to send any questions. This is just kind of an introduction to this. It was something that was on my mind, so I wanted to share. I teach it to the Qigong students and also within the martial arts. As you move, put your mind in your heart. So now you're not trying to think and figure out a problem. You're feeling and you're sensing and you're engaging your intuition. You're engaging the deeper parts of you. And now you can begin to take that combination of mind and heart, and now you become more aware of your energy, and now you can harness and apply that energy. So I hope you find this helpful. Thanks and have a great day.